Have you ever wondered what lurks in the shadows? What secrets the night hides? What strange phenomena might be happening just beyond your perception? Join us as we journey into the world of the paranormal, exploring everything from ghosts and UFOs to cryptids and unexplained occurrences. From haunted houses to all things paranormal, join us in the search for the truth behind the veil. Welcome to Paranormal 411.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. You know, we gotta press the buttons, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I was slacking. Just let
He
everybody
was
know.
just indulged in the video.
I was just sitting there, just watching, not doing nothing, not doing my job. How you doing, Jason? Doing pretty good.
Doing good, doing great.
Got a good show tonight.
We do. We're going to be talking about a spot in Romania called their Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. Can you pronounce the name?
The Hoia-Baciu Forest.
I'm going to take it as that's the way it's supposed to be sound.
Hoia-Baciu.
There you go. Hoia-Baciu Forest. Pretty interesting place. You know, there's all kinds of people that's been there too. Expedition X and all those people have been there.
A lot of weird stuff went on there too.
Yeah, they get, people have gone missing in the place. They get a lot of tales of seeing UFOs and some spectral stuff there too, and it just all kinds of stuff that's supposed to happen in there. They talk about portals.
Yeah.
Jason's favorite thing in the world.
Portals.
People are portaled somewhere else I've never seen before.
I like the one little spot in the forest that nothing grows.
Yeah, that's weird. And I remember Expedition X going there because they set up in that spot. And then, if I'm not mistaken, at that time, something came up on they had their FLIR or something.
Yeah.
And they could see something come like out through the forest and then go back in. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
I watched it, but I don't really have a good memory. So,
yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that happened. They had, I think they run EVP sessions and some voice box sessions and different things there. And
oh, yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Hey, guess what? It's Saturday night.
Woo! Saturday.
4 more days till Christmas.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Are you already on the road going somewhere? Are you planning on leaving on Monday? You know, the closer you get, the harder the traffic's going to be.
Yes. We want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We're not going to do a show Friday.
Saturday.
So it'll be only Saturday next week because of the holiday season. And we want everybody to have a great time, leave safe, get there safe, and have a good time. You know, don't get mad at all the other drivers. They're just trying to get the same place, just like you are.
Yep.
Right. So
tonight we're going to be talking about Romania's Bermuda Triangle. The it's spelled different here.
Hoia-Baciu
Forest.
Let's just call it the Baciu Forest.
Yeah, let's just call it the haunted forest in Romania.
Just that place in Romania.
So it's often referred to as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania. You know, we need to do a show on Dracula.
Oh, that's not the right one.
Here, let me get it for you. There you go.
Dracula.
So due to its numerous reports of strange, unexplained phenomena, some of the most chilling aspects of this eerie forest is the numerous accounts of unexplained disappearances, paranormal activity, and a lot of photographs.
Yeah, and it's funny though, because while we were, studying on this episode and stuff like that, you kept like the original history of this place. It was what was it, 6,000 years, 6,000 something BC, when it was actually a settlement there.
Mm-hmm.
So this tells you how old this area is that they've started. I think it was from 1960 to 1994. They started uncovering houses and different things in that area, and it all, said 6,000 something BC. But this area, for as long as they've been keeping records on it, have had people just go missing. Now there's one I'm sure Jason will talk about here in just about a second. Oh, I guess I want to talk
You
about
can
here.
talk about it.
Okay. That's one of the most famous cases.
Drink my Coke.
One of the most famous cases that's out there.
Mm.
And
That sounds interesting.
It's very interesting. Now this is the legend of the shepherd and his flock. Now, centuries ago, a shepherd whose name has been lost to time ventured into the Baciu Forest with his flock of 200 sheep. That's a lot of sheep.
Could you imagine? Well, maybe he had sheepdogs, but one guy with 200 sheep.
Yeah, that's a lot of sheep.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So, as the day wore on, he and his flock failed to return back to the village. So a search party was dispatched, but despite their best efforts, no trace of the shepherd or his sheep could be found.
Now, how could you misplace 200 sheep?
Right. Shepherd, but 200 sheep, that's crazy. They vanished without a trace completely, as if swallowed up by the forest itself.
Mm.
Now, this incident fueled local fears and solidified the forest's reputation as a place of mystery and dread. And I know a lot of people thinks that, like we was talking about just a couple seconds ago, that there's these portals,
mm-hmm.
and that maybe portals open up and just swallow people up.
Well,
send them to other places.
This happened in like 1500s.
Yeah.
So wouldn't there still be bones of the sheep?
Oh yeah, you should be able to find. I mean if they all died there, you should be able to see it.
Yeah, you should be able to find bones, and 200 sheep would be a lot of bones.
Yeah. Someone was really hungry.
Or the aliens got them. They were really hungry.
Maybe. They've got a Bigfoot.
Maybe.
He was really hungry.
Maybe he brought them to his reality.
Two at a time.
Oh.
Whatever it is, though, it is intriguing that a man and 200 sheep completely disappeared
without a trace.
Oof.
That's the Transylvania Triangle for you.
And then you also have now. It's a pretty good hot spot. Hello, only Oscars. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It is a hot spot for UFO activity and all kinds of paranormal activity too.
Yes.
So yeah, it's interesting.
There was one account of a disappearance of a young girl. Her name, they don't remember her name because it's been so long ago, but she wandered into the forest and she vanished with no trace. Years later, to the astonishment of the villagers, the girl reappeared.
Really? Now that's crazy.
She was unchanged by time.
So she time traveled.
Or time slipped.
Mm-hmm.
So she was unable to account for any of, all the time she was gone. She couldn't remember. So the bizarre incident further fueled speculation about the forest's otherworldly nature.
Excuse me.
Otherworldly nature.
Well, that adds something extra to it, though.
Yeah. Temporal anomalies.
Right. Well, I mean, you've got someone that disappears, but then turns back up years later, completely unchanged. That's amazing.
Yeah. Have you ever had a
Oh.
time slip?
I have not. I have. It's an interesting phenomenon, and I have read about people who have had them. I listen to Jimmy Church a lot, and he talks about him having a time slip. He was driving down the road, going somewhere. I forgot what it was. But he slipped backwards into a little bit older time when he was driving down the road. I don't remember where he was going somewhere. But it was in a neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, I've had something similar to that happen. You've probably done it too. I mean, you'd be driving down the interstate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You all of a sudden look up and say, how did I get here? I mean, I don't even remember going through so-and-so. That's something. Have you ever done that?
Being a professional driver, I'm going to start this conversation off with being a professional
I was
driver.
not drinking, but my mind was somewhere else when I was driving.
Right. I can't say anything for some things because some of them were my own fault for BSing on the phone or something, and I miss exits I should have got off of and stuff like that. That's just because I was just in autopilot driving and just carrying on a conversation, and not even. What's the funniest thing is that with my GPS, I would hear it. It'd sit there and start talking to me, right? Turn here or whatever, right? I would pay attention to it after it says recalculating.
Yeah.
No, don't recalculate. That means I just missed where I was supposed to be. But I can say as a used to be a professional over the road driver. I am not anymore, but there were a few times when I was driving that I did have some like missing time like that. Where I was waiting to get to a certain place so I could stop and get fuel and just, get out of the truck for a little bit. And I feel like I drove forever. And then when I finally tried to look for the place, I'd already passed it like 2 hours ago. And I was like, I know I didn't pass it because I've been waiting.
Well, had you already gotten fuel?
No.
Was your truck full?
Yeah. I mean, I usually would try to fill it about half. So I'd still have a whole nother day I could drive before I had to fill it again. But in the wintertime, like this time of the year, you don't want to get below half a tank ever. Because if you get somewhere,
get stuck,
it could be a week before you could start driving again. We've had guys now I've never been stuck. I think the longest I've ever been stuck is when me and the wife was driving, and it was like a day and a half, maybe 2 days out in Wyoming, I-80. Terrible place.
Yeah, I remember you got stuck a few times. We was going to do a show and you couldn't make it because of the snow.
Yep. Them closing roads, man. It throws you off.
So there's also tales of heinous crime that took place inside the forest. That supposedly the area is a place where multiple murders happened in Soviet times. So people claim that this is why the area is so strange. The murder victims are restless and angry because they're trapped within the wooded confines of the forest.
That's crazy.
There have been quite a few photos too. One even depicts a person in traditional Romanian clothing. That would be something to see.
Is that the one that you have?
No.
Oh.
The one I see is pretty weird, or the one I have. People claim to capture orbs, the shadow forms of people leering out from between trees, and we do have a picture of that. And even some who claim the faces are peering out of them from inside the tree.
Now, would that be crazy? going along, and then all of a sudden it looks like faces are looking at you.
Yes. So I'm gonna bring this picture up for you guys to see. See what you think of that. Crazy picture. What do you see, David? Whatever it is, it's pretty tall.
You know, if this was in America, I'd say it's probably a blurry Sasquatch photo. I mean, I'm just serious. You know, on the right-hand side, you see what looks like a hand cupped.
Yeah.
You know. Then on the left-hand side, of course, you see a hand or an arm, and it looks like a form figure standing behind a tree. Is what it looks like.
Yeah,
sure.
It's pretty wild.
Hmm.
Now, how do I get out of this?
Nope.
There we go.
There we go. It is gone.
That was the only picture I have, right?
I thought didn't you have something over there?
Yes,
Or is that
I
just
do. This is the map of the forest, which I'll show later.
Okay.
So, you going to tell a story?
I can. So, this is a long story, everybody. Sit down, get you a drink, put you something comfortable on. Don't pause this, though. Just turn it up.
Turn it up.
So, this is the Emil Barnia story. So, on the morning of August 18th, 1968, at the time, Emil was 45 years old, and his friend Zamfira, age 34, went for a walk in the Baciu Forest. Now, along with them, there were two other people. But then, in the light of what had happened, wished to remain anonymous. So the other two said, "Nah, don't say our names." Now, the weather that day was great, so the four of them decided to stay in the clearing and near the road leading to the town. Now, they dined there in the middle of nature in what seemed to be at the moment, a charming and relaxing space. Little did they know what kind of mystery was about to manifest. Finding themselves in the forest and in need of firewood, Emil decided to leave the group and explore the forest. There were no signs of anything unusual until the silence was broken by the voice of his companion. It was 1:23. Returning to the clearing, he noticed something unusual in the sky. There was a round vehicle with metallic appearance reflecting in the sun's rays. I don't know what that could be. What do you think?
A UAP?
Oh, yes. That's what that is.
It's probably a foreign entity.
Yeah, it's a weather balloon. What do you think?
It's a spy balloon.
That's it.
Spying on Dracula.
Now, this had metallic appearance reflecting in the sun's rays. It rose slowly over Baciu Forest, doing so in complete silence. So there's nothing. You know what that was? I know what it was.
A drone.
It was a dirigible.
What's a dirigible?
One of the big balloons.
Say that again.
Dirigible. Dirigible. Dirigible.
So
now,
stop right there just for a second. I'm going to show you the clearing.
Yes, the forest itself here has
and nothing at all will grow here for reasons probably radioactive.
I would say it's because of these silent things that are silent taking off from there.
So, whoa. So this is a picture of the forest, and
go over to it now. There you go.
Here is the
that's the clearing.
That's the clearing.
Yeah.
No vegetation will grow here. And this is where they were camped.
Yep, they're sitting there eating.
And the village was probably
The road goes that way, so
maybe right here, right in here. This is modern day, but
right.
uh
Well, I'm sure it's still the same place because
You
this
can
was just
see-
in the 60s, isn't it?
you can see how big the forest is.
Yeah,
It's
pretty good
huge.
size. Yep. Isn't it crazy? The color of the trees and stuff are different there
Yeah,
than just over.
that is
There's
wild.
there's a complete line that's different.
That's a dark forest.
Yeah,
But that is the clearing.
that's cool. Woohoo.
Okay,
Now we're back.
now we're back to the story. Do you remember where you were at?
Yes. So the man hurried to the packages and took out the camera, trying to take a good shot. Because the subject was not moving very fast, he managed to take 2 photos. Moreover, he noted that the object changed its brightness and then accelerated and flew up. Now, one of the images had never been shown publicly because it contains a supposed couple that wanted to remain anonymous.
Hmm.
Now, it also shows a small object vanishing into the clouds. I think of what is that? The USS Enterprise or something? Just,
Yeah,
it's gone.
warp drive.
It. Now, the appearance lasted for about 2 minutes. Barnea managed in this time to capture just 2 photos of the object. Now, without being especially interested in flying saucers, he showed them to man. Can you say that, Jason?
Florinawi Geographici.
Love it. From where?
Cluj.
Which dealt with the observation of UFOs. Now, at the same time, he knew from work of the ufologist. Now, steps were taken and information was provided about the National News Agency. One of the photographs that Barnea appeared in several newspapers as early as 18th of September. So some of his photos were in the paper there.
Yeah.
Now, by the time he found out more about the subject, the director of the observatory stated that Barnea and his comrades had succumbed to probability to a delusion. It's a delusion. And badly interpreted the emergence of a weather balloon as a flying saucer.
Weather balloon.
Yes. People called them illiterate and drunk and accused them of faking the whole thing. Now,
Merry Christmas, Lori.
Merry Christmas, Lori. Traces of weather balloons were never found in the area. The image analysis ruled out that Barnea could have perpetrated a forgery, but that was not the end of the interest in this issue. So Hoban took up the challenge for himself.
Ooh.
Great to hear from you. Yeah, thank you.
So
We have another story.
yes,
Yeah, I don't
we
think
do.
I don't think that they're definitely not stupid.
No. They got UFOs.
UFOs. They've been UFO'd.
So there was another story of Alexandru Sift. Yeah,
Yep.
it's not fair.
It's not fair. Yep, absolutely. Researching this too, what's really funny, Lori, is that you see where, their biggest tourist industry is Dracula. Yeah. It's all about vampires and all that other stuff. And so it's funny when you're researching something like this show right here to see where their biggest industry is trying to get people to come in for, Dracula related things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The story of Alexandru Sift, who was a pioneer, he was a pioneer of research in the Baciu Forest. Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
Hoia-Baciu.
He walked into the woods in the 50s in search of strange phenomena, repeated demonstrations that the untrained eye would consider as natural phenomena. However, Sift's hunts had not begun with a camera, as many may think. Sift still continued his studies in the 70s, and he gradually expanded the research team and its members, scientists not only from the country but also from abroad. Those who visited the forest pointed to a number of, unusual results. Among the phenomena that have been registered in the area would be flying low or low flying or floating objects resembling light points, usually white.
What a lot of people would call orbs.
Yeah. These were usually accompanied by the appearance of some physical phenomena, like in the form of radioactivity, magnetic anomalies, microwave and infrasound emissions.
Now that's amazing.
And so on and so on.
I think Lori's right. I think that's a UFO.
Yeah.
And drones, yes.
So unusual traces on the ground in the grass or snow were the accompanying impact of the vegetation. Noted as well is the impact of the forest on animals and humans, manifested by redness of the skin, radiation. So burns, anxiety, headaches, increased thirst, dizziness, disorientation, which means that a lot of people got lost in the woods.
Right.
The most characteristic of the forest appearances are the flying objects. They have different shapes and sizes, sometimes visible to the human eye, but sometimes visible only in photographs.
No, isn't that crazy that they can hide themselves from the human eye, but a photo could catch them?
It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, like you and I know that some things are not visible. As we're looking through the camera, I'm seeing stuff and you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we've been on investigations, we've seen that many a times.
So some of these
experiments, yeah, you're right, Lori.
Yeah. Some of these objects take like shapes of pyramids, spheres, cones, cubes, and similar objects have been repeatedly photographed and considered by some to be creatures that are quasi UFO.
That's interesting.
A lot of researchers that have taken interest in the forest also mention strange and controversial phenomena that manifested as guests of the forest. People see faces of humanoids or their full manifestations. However, well-known shapes. No, however, we can argue with the Romanian researchers, it is a typical example of pareidolia.
I think that pareidolia exists. I mean, we know it does, but at the same time, you can't call everything pareidolia.
No, I have pareidolia every day.
Well, everybody does. It's a human condition. Our brains are wired to see faces, but also patterns, So, I mean, it's something that's just built into us. It's hardwired.
And most of the time, it's got to be really dense image for you to see. I mean, a lot of, different images. To me, I can't look at that wall right there and see nothing in pareidolia, but it's got to have some kind of density.
Right. Also needs to have designs in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a lot of people, you could sit down and look at tile,
Mhm.
and some people could look at tile and sometimes see faces in it.
Well, also an interesting aspect is the temporary emissions of gamma rays and beta rays, sometimes highly intense, and the nature of magnetic disturbances, mainly with in connection with the already discussed white objects. They affect not only humans but also the equipment.
Well, that right there shows you something too. I mean, you know, beta rays and gamma rays and all those things can be measured.
Mm-hmm.
But when it also messes with your equipment, I mean, how many times have we gone out and done, you know, different things as far as like ghost hunts and different stuff where
Yeah.
it's drained our batteries completely?
More than once.
Yeah, quite a few times.
Oh. It's your turn.
My turn. What? Uh-uh. So the Baku Forest has also claimed the lives of numerous explorers and researchers. Hikers, scientists, and even seasoned adventurers have ventured into the forest's depths, only to disappear without a trace. Now, each of these times, search parties have combed the forest tirelessly, and their efforts have been met with little success. No bodies, no belongings, not even a single clue to their fate have ever been found. Now, these unsettling disappearances have added to the forest's mystique and deepened the sense of unease that pervades the eerie atmosphere.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when tons of people, hikers, scientists, and all these, you know, people have gone in there and come completely disappeared, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So, the heart of the forest's reputation lies within this clearing that we showed earlier.
Yes.
It's a roughly circular area, does not have any vegetation, and it stands out against the lush green backdrop of the surroundings of the forest. Trees abruptly stop growing.
Yep.
At its edge, there's an edge. You can tell the edge, and they just stop growing.
Yeah, and it's almost in a circle. That's what's kind of crazy about it too.
Yeah. The soil that's in the clearing, it appears to be fertile, but it's barren. Nothing grows, grass or weeds or anything. A lot of visitors to the clearing report unsettling experiences. A sense of unease often grips those who enter, which is accompanied by feelings of anxiety, dizziness, and nausea.
Hmm.
Even some individuals claim to experience sudden drops in temperature.
Now that goes right into a paranormal experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it
I
does.
mean, how many times have we had that too, where
Yeah.
someone's like, "Man, my arm's cold."
A lot.
Yeah.
So while others report burns appearing on their skin, the electronic devices often malfunction within the clearing, with compasses spinning, cameras shutting down. You know, that's exactly what's happened to us.
We've not had the compass thing, but because we've never taken one, we might have to
We
do
might
that sometime.
need to take a
Yeah.
compass, see what that magnetic field is doing.
Yeah. But we have had cameras shut down on us, and
Yeah.
them not even lose their battery. Just cameras just shut off.
Yeah. So the clearing's become a focal point for a lot of paranormal investigators and researchers. They've conducted various studies, including electromagnetic field readings, psychometric analysis, and it was an attempt to uncover the source of this unusual phenomenon. While some studies have yielded intriguing results, such as energy readings, anomalous energy readings, no definitive explanation has been found.
Hmm.
Maybe a meteorite landed right there. some years ago.
Could have landed 1,000 years ago.
Yeah. But a lot of people believe it's paranormal.
I would think it is. Myself, I would go into the paranormal side of it.
So the clearing's eerie reputation has attracted a lot of visitors, both curious and adventurous, and they want to seek. They got that. They want to experience it. Don't matter what the outcome is. They just want to experience it.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, we go do things like that just for the experience of what it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd venture too far in the forest without a rope tied to me and tied to the car or something, so wouldn't just disappear.
Yeah, you never know what can happen. I mean, you always need to be strapped with a rope or a gun.
I don't know how they are over there with that, though. Here we can do it, but
a lot of people report apparitions in the forest. One of the most common sightings was the shadowy figures in the trees.
Yep.
Which we saw a picture.
Yep.
Another common apparition is what? Of a ghostly woman in white. Why has it always got to be a woman in white?
It's funny because a lot of these stories have a woman in white. Why can't it be a woman in black?
and I guarantee you she's supposed to be wandering around that forest looking for her baby.
La Llorona.
No, a lot of witness on the serious side. She is wandering through the forest, but witnesses described her as sorrowful. And they get like this feeling of dread when they see her.
A lot of people who aren't used to seeing spirits get that, though.
Yeah.
They're like scared when they see something for the first time.
That when you do have a lot of fear built up, that can cause you to be nauseated.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for a fact.
Sick,
I tell you. So, David?
So children also feature prominently in the folklore of the Baciu Forest. Many visitors report hearing the sounds of children laughing or crying, even in some of the most remote areas of the forest. Now, others have claimed to see fleeting visions of children playing or their laughter echoing through the trees before abruptly ceasing. What do you think about that?
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Now that stuff, kids like that's creepy. That is creepy. Now, beyond visual sightings, many visitors report an unsettling feeling of being watched. A sense of unease pervades the forest, as if unseen presence is constantly observing your every move. Now, this feeling often is accompanied by a chilling sensation of being followed, even when alone. Now, some of these ghostly... You made it where I don't even know where I am now. Thank you, Jason.
There you go.
So the ghostly encounters within this forest contribute significantly to its reputation as a paranormal hotspot. Like we was talking about a minute ago, reports of timeline anomalies.
Yeah.
And this adds another layer to this mysterious place, right? Visitors frequently described a disoriented sense of time while exploring its depths. Hours seem to melt away, with explorers feeling as though they have spent just mere minutes within the forest. Conversely, some individuals report experiencing significant lapses in time, with no recollection of entire periods spent within the forest's eerie embrace. And that's what you was talking about, that's happened and stuff with you, where it's just
How did I get here?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I'm awake, I'm driving, and I'm not wrecking.
All right.
But I look up and I'm already there. I'm like, how did I get from there to here?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I never did look at the clock, so I should have.
You might have got abducted.
Might have jumped time.
Might have got abducted. Do you feel special?
Well, I got a little hole in my belly button.
That's funny. That's hilarious. So these temporal distortions can be unsettling, and they can leave visitors disoriented and confused. Now, feeling of loss of time combined with the otherworldly atmosphere of this forest can create a sense of unease and disconnection from reality. Some researchers speculate that the time anomalies may be linked to the forest's unique geological formations or the presence of powerful yet unseen energy fields. Now, some of the most perplexing accounts involve individuals who claim to have experienced significant jumps in time. Some report emerging from the forest hours or even days later than expected, with no explanation for the missing time. Others claim to have experienced fleeting glimpses of other times or realities. So there you go. Time bleeding right there. Such as seeing images of historical events or encountering individuals who appear to be from a different era. Now, these reports of time anomalies remain largely unexplained, and they also add to the allure of this forest. Now, why some dismiss the experiences as psychological effects of misinterpretations, the constant nature of these accounts suggests a more profound phenomena at play. Now, could this forest be a gateway to other dimensions or timelines? Or are these temporal distortions a product of some unknown force within the forest's depths?
The portals.
I think it's all possible.
Yeah. I think I would like to visit this place, but maybe one day we'll get to travel.
That's one of those just in its own.
When we get rich and famous,
Right? Yeah.
by doing our podcast of love here.
But book signings, all the book signings. Yeah.
You gotta love it when you just love it.
Well, I mean, we've been doing it since 2012.
Why wouldn't we love it?
Right. We do it because we love it. So no other reason. And we love when people like Lori, look at this, sit here and talks to us while we're makes it a lot better.
Lori, well, thank you for listening, watching. So, do you want to play the break real quick? Then we'll come back and close her out.
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, we got to play the commercial.
We're just going to do it at the end.
Yeah.
Trying new things up. Tell us what you think about, new styles as we do them.
So, if you can hold on for about 4 minutes, we will be right back with the rest of the story.
In the heart of Madisonville, Tennessee, lies a pizzeria like no other. Step through the door of Legends and Lore Pizzeria and be transported to a realm where paranormal and cryptid encounters along with mouth-watering pizza go hand in hand. Meet Eddie and his crew, who serve up slices of the supernatural along with the best pies in town. With the walls adorned with eerie artifacts, indulge in piping hot slices that melt in your mouth and tease your taste buds. And it's not just the locals who love the incredible pizza. Legends and Lore has been selected as the best pizza joint in all of Monroe County. As lovers of everything pizza and the paranormal, the owners have mastered the art of crafting unforgettable combinations that will leave you wanting more. To stay connected with this mystical eatery, follow Legends and Lore Pizzeria on Facebook, where tales of their latest creations and upcoming specials will be shared. Make sure to browse their custom menu, featuring legendary pizzas like the Chupacabra Ranch and the Exorcist. So, whether you have an appetite for the supernatural or simply seek the best pizza in town, Legends and Lore is the place to be. Come for the unforgettable flavors, stay for the captivating stories, and find yourself in a world where legends and pizza collide.
What if the world we know is merely a fraction of reality? What if there are forces, entities, and phenomena that exist just beyond our comprehension in the shadows of the unknown? Welcome to Paranormal 411, your gateway to the unexplained and the downright chilling.
Get ready to rock with the electrifying sound of Catalyst, a band that's sure to leave you wanting more. With their powerful lyrics and killer riffs, Catalyst is a great sound in the world of rock music. You can listen and find Catalyst on Bandcamp, or go to the link at paranormal411.org and click on their banner.
All right.
All right, we are back.
Want to thank Catalyst East Tennessee for allowing us to use their music. That was them at the end right there. And if you want to listen to more of them, you could go to paranormal411.org. Click the link. Goes to their Band Lab page.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to all their stuff.
Basically, you could listen to it for free.
You can.
Then you can purchase it.
Two albums.
Yeah.
So,
Or you can just continue to listen to Paranormal 411 and hear them free here.
that's right. You can do both. I mean, why not?
So we've been talking about the haunted forest in Transylvania. I think it's a pretty. Oh, I already got it switched.
I see that.
I think it's a pretty interesting, topic, and would like to go sometime if we ever get a chance.
I mean, there's been all kinds of other people who've been there, right? So Expedition X was talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
And a few other people who have been to the Baciu Forest there. And I have watched the Expedition X one.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't that long ago. I think it's just last season, maybe.
I think it was.
And it was really, really interesting. Some crazy stuff happened during that episode.
I think they felt like they were surrounded when they were in that clearing.
Yeah, when they was in that clearing, they also had what looked like a person come out of the end of the forest and then go back in. It was a very interesting show.
Yes, their forests are always interesting.
Well, I mean, we get a sense of uneasiness in most forests, especially if it's a dark, forest that has a huge canopy. You don't get a lot of sunlight in there. And it's easy to misconstrue sometimes shadows and things as something else, right?
Yeah.
That's where that pareidolia comes in. So I think we automatically get that uneasiness from that. But then when you start getting all these accounts, especially these UFO accounts that happen, and time slip anomalies and people going missing,
Yes.
that by itself is just, I don't know. I mean, I'd be like, I don't know. I'd be thinking of David Pilates, point of separation.
Well, there's another forest that they call, it's where people go to commit suicide.
Oh yeah, the Japanese forest.
Yeah, now that one would be pretty creepy to go into.
Yeah, they go and hang themselves, if I'm not mistaken, in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's just a place to go and do that sort of thing, or they're drawn there.
I don't know. I guess you'd have to research the.
Yeah, and we may do a show on that one.
Yeah, that is an interesting forest.
Yeah,
and a lot of crazy stuff happens there supposedly too. So, I mean, I just couldn't imagine committing suicide.
well, it's got a lot to do with the psychological makeup of yourself,
That, yeah, and I think I think you're right. That has a lot to do with it.
A lot of things could trigger it, could happen to make your mind that way. But, it could happen to any of us, I think.
Well, I feel sorry for people that are depressed and things like that, and hope that they get all the help that they need.
Yes.
And actually seek the help. Don't try to self-medicate and stuff like that. Actually go get the help you need. But, that's coming from a person that I can't really relate to that.
Yeah.
I cannot relate to it. So I can't understand the mentality of where it would come from to be able to get to that point.
My only advice would be love yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the greatest love.
I'll tell you why I don't think that none of that stuff bothers me though.
Why?
Because I don't care what people think about me. I don't care. I mean, that's just the truth. I don't care. A lot of these people, I think, that get to that point where they do stuff like that, have one or two things. They're either going to die from some terrible something or another, and they choose to go out that way. Or
that could be a factor.
Yeah. Or I think it's psychological, like you said a minute ago. I think it's psychological, and it's people, they overthink things. We tend to overthink things as humans, and we overthink the way people treat us, the way we care. Some people care too much about the way they're perceived and all these other things. And I think that, when you get these people that have that, then there's a problem. I just say that, if you have a problem, go seek proper help.
Yes.
And get helped.
So
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Tell the people that you're with that you love them.
We love all our listeners.
Yes, we do.
And our premium members.
All of our premium members that go to paranormal411.org and become a premium member. They do our $2 or $10 a month membership. And we appreciate all of you. Even if you're not a premium member, we really appreciate you and the time that you take to listen to us and listen to the show.
For you guys that listen to us and watch us, we've been able to buy some new equipment.
We have
3 new cameras.
We got 3 new cameras. So you're going to start getting a lot better quality. And we got another piece of equipment that I got for Christmas right here. that once we figure it out and we get it hooked up, it's really going to make a big difference. So we got this video switcher.
Oh,
And so, you know, if you see us acting really crazy, it's because we haven't figured some of this stuff out yet. Right now, we've only got a soundboard that does all of our sound and all that stuff. And now we're going to have a soundboard and a video board. So it's going to become a 5-man job that 2 people are doing.
Yeah.
Woo!
We can do it. I want to thank
We
everybody
got
for listening tonight too. Again, we really appreciate it.
Yes. Have a great Christmas. Enjoy everything that you get from Old St. Nick. Remember, you can find us at paranormal411.org, Paranormal 411 on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Remember, we are live every Thursday at 7 to 8. Also, Saturdays from 8 to 10. Now, also on Saturdays from 10 to 11, we're in the Metro Atlanta area at 99.1 FM. But if you're not in the Metro Atlanta area, that's all right. You can still listen. You could tune over to WDJYFM.com, or you go to paranormal411.org and click the link and listen to that show. Now, we are also on Subspace Radio on all major podcast platforms. And we have a book out. It's called East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2. East Tennessee Hauntings and Lore Edition 2. Check it out. It is available on Amazon. You go to paranormal411.org and get it. Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
You guys have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We will see you Saturday.